In this video, we are going to learn gateway routing pattern. Gateway routing pattern is route requests to multiple microservices with exposing a single endpoint. This pattern is useful when we want to expose multiple services on a single endpoint and route them to the internal backend microservices based on the request. When the client needs to consume several microservices, gateway routing pattern offers to create a new endpoint that handles the request and route these requests for each services. For example, you can think an e-commerce application might provide services like customer shopping cart discount and order history. You can see the image on the slide. The gateway routing pattern is exposing one single endpoint to the client application. When the client hits this endpoint, the routing pattern routes to the request several internal microservices, which including the customer shopping cart discount and order. So that means the gateway routing pattern is useful if you have such a case like a client is consuming multiple microservices. If one of the microservices are changed or replaced with other microservices, the client doesn't know anything and not need to change any code on client side. It can continue to making requests to the gateway, and the only change will be the configuration of the routing chains. By this way, API Gateway abstracts your backend microservices from the client applications, with allowing you to keep client codes simple even backend services are changed on behind of the API Gateway. Also, this pattern can be very useful when you have multiple API versions of same microservices. That means if you deploy our microservices APIs with Blue, Green or Canary deployments, you can gradually shift your request to new API with using the gateway routing pattern. Gateway routing pattern gives you the flexibility to use different API versions routing to the request. If the new version of API has got exceptions, it can be quickly reverted back to making only a configuration change at the API gateway. So how can we use gateway routing pattern? Basically, we can put a gateway in front of a set of microservices and use application layer 7 routing to route the request to the internal microservices. With this pattern, the client application only needs to know about and communicate with a single endpoint. If any internal services is changed, the client doesn't necessarily require the updating. It can continue making requests to API gateway and only the routing configuration will be changed.